Howdy, folks. Widget Walls from needcoffee.com here. Back for another Wayhomer review. And for the uninitiated, here's how this works. I've just left the cinema, as you could see if there was a sign. And I'm going to tell you about the movie that we saw on the way home. And today we're here to talk about The Social Network. Okay, so Social Network. It's interesting because I remember when the film was, actually, you know what? I want to talk about something else first. Hey, AMC, is it actually hygienic to have your automatic paper towel dispensers hanging directly over the garbage? And also, are you saving any paper if you distribute the paper towels in cocktail napkin-sized doses? I'm just wondering, AMC. I'm just wondering. Social Network. So, when this was first announced and they were doing a Facebook movie, I don't think anybody knew. I mean, basically, it was equated to, like, you know, hearing that they're doing a Super Soakers movie, which was announced. Or, you know, even like a Monopoly movie or a Battleship movie. It's like, how do you... There's no plot to Facebook. There's no action in Facebook. But then, of course, it became apparent that it's based on a book that is the story of the creation of Facebook and the litigation that followed. So, I mean, your synopsis is here with Mark Zuckerberg, who is at college and wants to do something amazing. And so he basically decides to, based on the film, what we saw from the film, allegedly gets an idea for a website and then makes it better. And that turns into Facebook. And then lots of angry, pissed off people follow along with lawyers. There's your synopsis. Now here's the deal. As the film started to roll out, when you had that fantastic trailer using the choral version of Radiohead's Creep, along with, you know, just an excellently cut trailer. I mean, if you're doing a drama and you want to know how do I cut a trailer, watch a Social Network trailer, okay? Please, because you'll be happy with yourself. Now, finding out David Fincher and the cast that they had involved, then people started to get interested. And as well they should, because the film is actually really quite excellent. It's excellent, number one, because it's written by Aaron Sorkin. And, you know, I had heard that it was a little preachy, because Aaron Sorkin can be preachy. I'm not as familiar with Aaron Sorkin because he writes for that thing called television, which I barely watch any of. But no, not so bad. Not so bad. I didn't feel preached to at all. I mean, it was one of those films in which there are messages, but they're with the lowercase m and not the uppercase M, if you know what I'm talking about, Jim Cameron. So the dialogue, razor sharp, excellent. The structure of it, jumping around in time, showing different things happening at the same time, quite effective. David Fincher, of course, excellent director, so that's all good. And as cool as that is, you have to have the right cast to bring it to life, and they kind of sort of nailed that. Jesse Eisenberg is one of these people who, you know, it's like Michael Cera, in that a lot of people are, more people probably Michael Cera, but it's one of those actors where you're seeing so much of them, you just go, I don't know if I like you anymore. He's actually quite good in this, and just sort of nails his part. Pretty much everyone does. Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake as one of the co-founders of Napster, which is quite interesting. Interesting casting, but he's quite good. And the guy that got to play twins, which I can't think of his name. Everyone's been loving his performance, and rightly so, but I can't think of his name. So what? I have no way of looking it up. I'm driving a car. But it's quite good. From an ensemble level, it's quite excellent. So you have all these people who are delivering fantastic dialogue and fantastic situations, and it's all, I mean, it seems stupid to say, well, it seems very believable because it's supposedly based on a true story. But, I mean, haven't we all seen supposedly based on a true story things where we just went, really? So, but here it feels very real. And I think part of that is because it is so very fresh. It's so very grounded in what we know. And it's such a strange thing to be able to say. You know, we were talking about it right after the film ended about, well, we didn't have the prevalence of smartphones then, so it was different then. And we're talking about 6-7 years ago. So it's a very fresh film that we can all relate to because we're all on Facebook. We all want to be, accepted by certain people on Facebook. We're all interested in what's going on Facebook. And so the film is kind of like a portrait of now, which is very interesting because you very seldom get a film like that is able to show you where you are right now. It's usually where we were 20, 30 years ago, or it's some science fiction thing that's reflecting on where we are now. It's not a direct mirror of where we are now. And I thought that's what the most interesting part of the film is because I think this is why it will do well and continue to do well, is because it's a story we can pretty much all relate to, even though it's all about, nerds who can code their asses off and who are now bisquillionaires. And it is kind of terrifying, can I say, running a website that I understood what was being said when they were talking codese, even though I couldn't, translate it directly into English, but I at least understood what they were saying and talking about. That was kind of terrifying. That normally doesn't happen with technical stuff in a film, so maybe it hits a little closer to home for me, being a webmaster myself. So, the deal is this. Social Network, excellent movie. And that was an excellent driving job. It probably would be up for Best Picture. I think, even if there were 5 films, even if Best Picture nominations still meant something, I think it would be up anyway because it's so very relevant, I think, and interesting. So here's what I would say. Is it a big screen movie that's got car chases and stuff blowing up and stuff like that? No. Should you see it on the big screen? I think you should definitely see it. So what I would recommend is, hopefully I'll get this up by this weekend, because things are going crazy for 32 days, but I would say, go catch a matinee this weekend. I think you'll enjoy it. Even if you're not a Facebook junkie, you should do so. So, I would say, cup-wise, easily 4.5. 4.5 cups. Incredibly solid, incredibly well-written, incredibly well-acted, and definitely worth seeing. And I want to know how many of you, when you do see it, feel compelled to, while sitting in the theater, comment on Facebook that you're watching the Facebook movie during it, just because you want to feel made up. Can you do that for me? Just let me know. Leave a comment if you do that. Or send me a message on Facebook from the theater where you're watching the Facebook movie. That would be even funnier. I would appreciate that. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That's what I got. 4.5 stars, 4.5 cups. We don't do stars. The cups are full of stars. And you should definitely check it out, Social Network. So, that's it for this Wayhomer. And I'm just about home. So we will, I will say, again, for those of you who stumble these, who Facebook these, and who Twitter, retweet these, whatever social network that you subscribe to, fictional or otherwise, or based on a real social network, it really does help us out quite a bit. This and everything else that we've got going on, like the 32 Days of Halloween stuff that's happening right now, that I've got to rush home and do some more work on. So anyway, we'll see you on the site, and thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.